Folks, welcome back. Today's conversation is on these little bricks of flippin' gold. Am I right? The little bricks of gold. These things are such a controversial thing in Magic's history. So we're going to talk this whole video. You can look if you want to watch eye candy and collector's edition sets. That's up to you. Or if you just want to listen to the video, that's fine too. So, a couple things. As you know, in the collection deals and videos over the years, you see me kind of acquire some of these collector's edition, and some of them are international collector's edition. Ooh, whatever, same thing. It's silly, the whole story with these things. Supposedly, there's supposed to be 15,000 collectors, and the print run was only like 9,500 to 10,000, so they made an extra 5,000 international, which turned out to be like 4,800 or some stupid thing. So it's estimated to be around 14 to 15, 14.5 or whatever of these things were created. So, as the years went by, again, people really weren't a fan of the gold borders, the pointy corners, blah, blah, blah. So, the world started to get very playful with this product. The world would start to cut the corners. The world started learning these items are the reason we have essentially rebacked beta cards. This is the product that, again, is the reason that cards get rebacked. You take the cheap version, because back in the day, you could buy all these things for pennies on the dollar. You could strip off, or they use some chemical. They do something where you separate the front and back, and then you, of course, reconnect it or put it through a press or something, and you would reconnect the back or something. I'm not really sure of how the details on that work. Something like that. So it was interesting. The point of this video was I'm doing my inventory, and I was counting and auditing everything and checking, and I was also talking to an individual who was telling me stories about the past. And not really, I guess it was a long time ago. I was going to say the mid-2000s. I was going to say not long ago, but boy, I feel old. So in the mid-2000s, when he was telling me how he was going around at Magic events, and he was buying these things, only to literally do reback beta cards and flip them on the secondary market to make extra money. He didn't care if they were international or regular. It didn't mean nothing to him. And I thought that was interesting. And I was like, okay, if you don't mind me asking, like, how many cards did you test? Like, how did this work? So the individual told me that he would buy these things. Sorry, I got a little excited when I bought this one. That's totally my fault. So that I should actually charge extra for that one. So he told me he would essentially buy these things, and then he would take where's the basic lands? So he would take, I guess I could just pull from here. So he would take the basic lands. And the basic lands, because you get so many basic lands in each set, you get a whole section of basic lands in addition to one of each duels and everything else. So he would take these things and he would use these as the experimental cards. And he was telling me because you got so many basic lands in each of these sets that most people would never count or check. You can always take a few out. You can do that with the basic lands. And I was like, wow, that's actually kind of interesting. And I was like, so after you got good with that, how many regular like Black Lotuses and Moxins and like how many of the name brand Power 9 cards and dual lands did you actually take apart and actually like reback? In other words, how many of the Power 9 from Collector's Edition did you destroy? And I was like, what's this guy going to say? Maybe 5, 10? He said, you guys ready for this? He claims between 500 and like 800, almost 1,000. This guy claims, and he claims that he literally destroyed like 500 to 1,000 of the Power 9 in the Collector's Edition or the Ice, in the gold bordered special versions. And he said that's how many times he was rebacking them and selling them years ago. And of course, he said years ago, it was a lot easier to do that because, of course, people didn't have the knowledge. The internet really wasn't as big of a thing. Oh, that one's still actually sealed. Is that an ice? It's international. Are these international? So this one's still, by the way, in case you guys didn't know that, this is what the inside looks like. You have, hang on a second. So you have a factory sealed one. This is how they come factory sealed, kind of just a regular little clear thing like that. And then if you take the outer seal off, this is what they look like on the inside. And then you can see like the bricks of like, they come in like actual 6 bricks like that. I don't know if you guys have ever actually seen that before you actually open them up like that. That's kind of how they actually look. Anyways, and I guess what the point of the video was, what was really interesting to me was, okay, are we again as a public entity and the market and all of us talking on YouTube and all this stuff and the fancy message boards with lab coats, are we all underestimating this again? Are we miscalculating the quantity of this stuff? Are we all assuming and making decisions and pricing these things based on a certain quantity that may not be accurate. So, I think about that stuff and I'm like, wait, this is one guy. And and by the way, this is hilarious. You guys are going to laugh your butts off. Listen to this. So he said essentially he would buy a gold border Mox, whether any of the Mox, the gold ones, the gold border ones, whether it's even a pearl, the cheapest one. And he would tell me he would buy that. And he would tell me he would buy them. I think he said like $20 a piece. I know that sounds stupid today. But he said this is, I guess in the 2000s, I guess that's right. So he'd buy like a whole set of Mox for like $100, all 5. And I was like, okay. And I don't know if that's good or bad, or that seems about right for the 2000s. And then if you rebacked it into a beta, and he had a little machine, I guess he made to professionally you'd put the card, like how do I do this? Like you would take the card and you would put the card down and it would have the pointy corners, and he had like a metal thing that would just go down. So he had like a template or a mold of like the corners of like an actual beta card. So he kind of took a mold of that and then he had it machined so that you would literally place the card, kind of like a PSA or Beckett places the card and the machine slab seals it, like the top of the case slabs and sonically seals it, whatever. And that's what he was doing to cut the corners, so the corners would be consistent. So I thought that was interesting. And then he said, yeah, he would use like a press. So he would take like the card, he would put the card through like a machine, it would like professionally press it. So most people would not know to do like what you guys see me do on the camera, where I would put like the light test and make it see, okay, it's smooth, it doesn't look kind of funky. Actually, let me grab some rebacks. Hang on. All right. So these are more collector's edition that I've just never, I don't have the box for them. And again, by the way, if you have an extra empty collector's edition box, please send me a picture and email. I'll give you like $50 for an empty box, and I'll pay your shipping, please. I still need more of these boxes. As you can see, I don't have enough of the collector's edition boxes to build some more sets. I just want to show you guys something here. Is this some loose ones? Hold on. These are all here we go. Anybody remember this from a couple years ago? All right, here you go. And again, none of this is for sale. I appreciate all the nice messages and contacts. So we have some beta ancestral recalls, okay? So he was telling me about this, and again, back in the day, the knowledge of the market wasn't there. 99% of people would assume this is an authentic beta ancestral recall if they bought it online. Seriously, 99% of people. Very, very few people would be able to kind of pass that by. So check this out. Now this is cheesy, because now this is, by the way, this was not from this guy. I just want to show you. This particular person attempted to like cut and glue and reback and all this stuff. And you can see this card, they did a terrible job. You can see they didn't press it because they didn't have professional equipment. Okay, you see that? Interesting, isn't it? Look at this one. Check this out, folks. See that? Look how good of a job they did. Don't look at the cheesy, painting the black and everything, but this one, you can see the collector's edition word. So this is still a gold bordered back. This isn't a different back. Okay, this is a different back. The word is not there. But you see how it looks different? See how the back would look smooth like that versus the ring? Well, I know that's a really exaggerated example. But he claims, and I've seen some rebacks that looked good like this. So the point of the story is, back in the day, people didn't know what to look for. They wouldn't know, hey, the back of that card looks a little wavy or a little off. And, he would sell them on eBay. Sell them as a backpack dealer at Big Magic Fest or GPs back then, or regional things, or whatever event there were. And he said, he sold them to vendors, sold them to other people at the events for cash, and he'd be long gone. And he says, but my point of bringing this up before I just end this little short video today was, it really makes me question, and I've been questioning a lot of this lately. Like I said, even all those modern era boxes from like 2000 to 2010, pre-Return to Ravnica, where they changed the printing strategy. I've been really questioning even these ice and these regular collector's edition products. How many were actually destroyed? Like, if this one guy destroyed at least 500 Black Lotuses of collector's editions, imparting these things out, and rebacked them and sold them as betas, this and that, and got destroyed, or blah, 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 or people got pissed they were fake, and stores said, oh, these are counterfeit, destroy, whatever it is. I have a funny feeling these are more rare than we've all calculated. And even today's crazy price may not be crazy.